One of the big issues for you is this smart city streetlights.
Right.
Tell us what they are and how they work and the problem with them and how you would plan on resolving it.
You can see the map on your screen showing in blue where they've been installed already, and in yellow or gold where they're going to go still. What the City Council was not told is that those lights were going to have cameras and microphones and other surveillance devices on them. This was not disclosed. The city is now collecting surveillance data in public streets, parks, schools, places where you and your kids walk, places where you and your kids go and have fun on the weekends. And that information is given to General Electric, the provider of the surveillance services. In the contract, it gives GE the right to do whatever it wants forever with all the data that it collects. But the city has no ability to oversee how this is done. So when you're talking about surveillance data, we have to distinguish between legitimate law enforcement uses where there's proper oversight and they're complying with the Constitution and our civil rights. That's one thing. We're not talking about that. What we are talking about is the gathering of the data by the city and giving it to Wall Street without any restrictions whatsoever. So, people talk about your personal footprint on social media, right? You recall a few years ago, Facebook and other social media outlets, they track everything that you do and they use that data to market to you or do whatever. This is now taking it to the next level because it's surveillance about what you do when you leave your home. What time do you leave work? Do you walk your kids to school or do they walk to the school by themselves? When do you go for a jog? How many times do you get an Amazon or a UPS delivery? That sort of thing. And that data is given to General Electric without restrictions forever. You don't know who they're selling it to, you don't know what they're using it for. Now, the government is not allowed to maintain databases on you. It's unconstitutional. But yet that's exactly what this is.
So what are you proposing at this point happen? You talked about a moratorium, putting some sort of a moratorium in place?
Right, so we think that the best approach is, number one, when you're bleeding, stop the bleeding. So the city needs to stop the installations. What your viewers saw on the map, the yellow and the gold, that needs to stop. The City Council, 5 members with the mayor's support, or 6 members without the mayor's support, can end the installations now. Furthermore, they need to end the contract so that General Electric doesn't get any more of the data. Stop that now. We're not talking about removing the lights. The lights are fine, but the lights have these devices attached to them. And we're talking about the data that goes through those attached devices. So the City Council can stop further installations, and the City Council can end the transfer of the data to General Electric.
I got to imagine that, first of all, the mayor and the city council didn't know going into this contract that General Electric was going to get that information.
Yeah, that's right. So,
and my question is, how hard is it going to be from a legal standpoint to get General Electric out of the equation as far as gathering the data?
Yeah, not difficult. And let's talk about how we got here. The contract went to the City Council in December of 2016. The current city attorney was on the dais. She said absolutely nothing about it. It's the lawyer's job to read the contracts and disclose it. It came back a month later for a second vote. Again, city attorney is on the dais, said nothing, still her job. And then a month later, when all the approvals were done, her office reviewed it and put their stamp on it saying that it was approved. All of that should have been disclosed up front so we aren't in this mess in the first place. How do we get out? The contract actually has provisions for terminating it. Next week I will be sending a legal memo to the city so they understand how they can lawfully get out of the contract. In the meantime, on our website, it's corybriggs.com. You can go there, scroll down just a little bit below the top. We have an image of the map, and next to it, folks can sign the letter and sign the petition that we're doing to get the city to stop it. The city needs to hear from the public that the public doesn't support this. If the leaders didn't know about it, certainly the public doesn't know about it. But the public is not in favor of surveillance. So if we can get folks to go to the website, sign a letter, sign on to the petition, we will deliver it to them. Next week they will get the legal memo giving them the advice that they should have been given up front that they never got, and hopefully they will do the right thing.
Quick question in closing. Have you guys planned a debate or anything, you and the current city attorney?
There are rumors that there will be debates. There are also more rumors that the ones that have been scheduled, she's pulling out of because she doesn't want to have to debate me.
Well, much more to come on this.
Cory
Mara
Briggs.
Elliott is our current city attorney. Cory Briggs running for office.
We appreciate your time this
We sure
morning,
do.
and
Thank
we'll
you.
follow up with you sometime next week, as well as with the city in their response to your letter.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Cory.
Ad paid for by Cory Briggs for City Attorney 2020.